right, what is going on? Fit Over 40 tribe members. This is Coach Dave. Super excited to bring you another episode of the Fit Over 40 Challenge Show, the #1 health and fitness show for those of us in the club. Now, today I've got another great episode for you, and I want to talk to you something about sometimes that we neglect, and that is self-care. And today's title is Self-Care for a Better Mood. Now, I'm going to give you a little pep talk today about feeling fit, strong, and healthy throughout December and the holidays. I mean, let's face it, we have had a tough year, to say the least. Lots of things, depending on where you are and you know what has been happening with you. It doesn't even matter. Even if things have been good, it's been a tough year. There's lots of anxiety out there. And today we're going to talk, though, about you getting fit and strong mentally. Now, listen, there are so many reasons to carve out some time for self-care this time of year. And as I mentioned, with 2020 coming to an end, but I'm going to talk to you about one of them, and that is your mood. Now listen, everything that I'm going to mention will also help you in other areas, like your immune system, your quality of sleep, not to mention any fitness or wellness goals that you still have that you're working on. And you are working on them, right? Because let's say it's all connected here. Now, before I just go into it, I know some people might be listening to this for the first time. I want to welcome you to the show. If you don't know me yet, my name is Coach Dave, or at least that's what I go by. And I help busy moms and dads over the age of 40 transform their lives, mind, body, and soul, to get back to feeling healthy and fit again. Feel like they were back when they were 20, maybe even younger. No, anyway, but I want to welcome you, okay? And if you haven't heard the show, or if you haven't listened to previous episodes, I'd love for you to go back and listen to them. But I'm thankful you're here today. So let's go ahead and just dive right in to what I want to talk to you more about today. So let's start off by talking about what you eat actually affects your mood. Yeah, we're going to bring it right back to nutrition today. So first, there are foods that can make your mood worse, believe it or not. And if you eat too much of them, they can leave you feeling tired, cranky, bloated, and blah. Now, I'm wondering if you're agreeing with that, shaking your head, okay? Now, you may have already guessed this. You may be already saying this to you as you're listening to this, but I'm talking about processed foods and foods with added sugars like candies, pies, and baked treats. And these just happen to be some of the typical foods that we're eating during this time of year. Now, these foods, they generally have very little nutrition, as you know, right? And for the amount of calories that they contain, they can affect your body's systems, including your digestion and your blood sugar levels. And let's just kind of get right down to it. They can wreak havoc on your mood, okay? Let me ask you the question. Have you ever felt that happen to you? Like you eat something and sure, I mean, it tastes great as you're eating it, but then not too much longer afterwards, you just feel bad. You don't feel great. You feel sluggish. You feel tired, especially if you've been doing really good so far and then all of a sudden this month of December ruins it for you. So, I mean, to say, the thing that you want to do is, you want to try to stay away from some of this, but that's not to say you shouldn't stay away from your favorite holiday treats. I've never been a fan of that. It's probably a good idea to enjoy them in small amounts. And again, small amounts, and keep them enjoyable. That's the thing that I think is great when you just have some of these foods during this time period, because you know that, hey, you're going to indulge in some of it now, but that's it, but don't overdo it, Don't send your body into overdrive trying to digest them or handle a huge sugar influx. I mean, that will just wreck your mood completely and quickly. The second thing is, let's talk about the foods that actually help with moods, because I'm always a big fan of trying to figure out ways to improve performance, improve us, and foods can do that too. Specifically, we're talking about healthy fats and vitamin B12. Now, there's been numerous studies that show that these can make a difference in many people. So, if you have low levels of each, it could be linked to depression. Now, you can get both healthy fats and vitamin B12 from lots of different food sources. I mean, one of them being obviously fish like salmon or tuna, mackerel, and some with grass-fed beef and fortified eggs. So there's lots of different options out there, especially for those people that don't like fish. But on the plant side of things, you can also get them from flax seeds. You get these fats from nuts, avocados, and I've become a huge fan of avocados. But the problem is it's very hard to get B12 from plant source, okay, since it's primarily found in animal protein. So if you are a vegetarian, you might be more well-known and educated on how to get your B12, but it's hard to get it from plant-based sources. So basically, if you eat a healthy whole foods diet with enough healthy fats and B12, that's going to help with your mood. So avoiding those processed foods, eating those whole foods with healthy fats and B12. Now, does that sound doable? Just shake your head. Yeah. Okay. I think you can do it. You know what? I know you can do it. Now, here's another one, and this is one that anybody can do, and it's exercise. Exercise is probably a major mood booster, in my opinion, and it usually cures most people's mood within 10 to 15 minutes of doing something. Now, I mean, the guidelines recommend getting, 150 minutes of moderate exercise every week. That kind of breaks down to about 5 30-minute sessions of activities. Again, it doesn't have to be HIIT type workouts. It could be biking, it could be brisk walking, it could be swimming, or even if you have a personalized program, some like I give to my clients. You don't have to do something crazy for 30 minutes, but you have to get movement going. Okay? I mean, ask yourself this. Have you ever felt a quick mood boost after working out? Again, you're probably shaking your head yes right now, because it changes the chemistry and the physiology of the body. And it works on a lot of levels. It works hormonally, it works physically, and it works psychologically. I mean, chemically, like we're speaking, is exercise triggers the release of hormones that actually make you feel better by boosting your mood and curbing your stress. I mean, that's sometimes, and I used to have a client who was an attorney and had rough days. And the rough days that I knew that he had, when he'd come in and he'd be like, not really say a word, he's like, let's go. And I'm like, one of those days? He's like, yep. And 10 to 15 minutes in, you could just see the stress start to just be relieved. He completely forgot about what was going on, and it just made a tremendous difference in the psychological and the physical aspect of him. And, physically, I mean, working out gets you out of your head and it helps you reconnect with your body. I mean, and that can boost your mood right there. It can also help loosen and tighten muscles and burn off stress. I mean, the example that I just gave you with my client, it's basically physically and chemically. And then the third aspect to it is psychologically. Among many other things, I mean, you're going to get a great feeling of accomplishment, which is a mood booster in itself. And also it's like a shot of self-esteem. I mean, one of the things that really kept myself and my wife going during quarantine was we upped our workouts. I mean, I was furloughed from my OTF head coach position, and I was pretty stressed out. But working out and just getting out there psychologically just changed my whole mindset. And it's just amazing what exercise can do. So now we've talked about nutrition, we've talked about exercise. The last component that I really want to talk to you about is this is something that I think that suffers a lot during the holidays, and it's sleep. It's an underrated component when it comes to your mood and basically everything else when you talk about wellness related. And during the lead up to the holidays, sometimes we don't get enough sleep. I mean, this can be for many reasons. I mean, from having too much scheduled time. I mean, I know now that certain places where we're getting locked up again or quarantined, and maybe you do have a little bit more time, which is great. Others are staying late because they're actually still going out. They're still having holiday and Christmas parties. And then that's when also they start changing in your diet, changing in the amount of alcohol you drink, you name it. And it just kind of has a snowball effect on your overall mood and just physical and emotional well-being. And that matters. And it matters because your body does a lot of recovery when you're sleeping, especially your brain recovers. And this is something that I just have been trying to focus more on, is really digging into the sleep and how it affects not just your body for recovery, but also for your brain. And when you don't get enough of it, when you don't get enough sleep, it can lead to added stress and it can make you feel grouchy. I know that there's a lot of people out there that when they don't get their sleep, they are not very pleasant. And my kids are a good example of that. I see that when they don't get enough sleep, they are not pleasant to be around. And so it's always important that you make sure that you're getting enough sleep. So again, I know that there's certain things that come up during this time period that can prevent it, but you need to make sure that you're really trying to focus in on getting enough sleep. And if you didn't sleep well the night before, it might be likely that you're tempted to maybe skip your workout. Plus, if you don't get enough sleep, your hunger hormones can jump in an uninvited and cause food cravings. So there's other aspects to not getting enough sleep that can really start to, kind of snowball or trickle effect down to you not getting proper nutrition and proper exercise. So I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. So focus in, even if you need to focus in on one of those aspects, just pick one, and I would pick sleep. That's me personally. Nutrition and then exercise, if it's in that order. But you got to start the night before, because if you don't get a good night's sleep, if you're up on your phones looking at your blue screen and your brainwave and you're not getting that REM sleep, it's going to all start and snowball from the beginning. You're not going to want to eat good. You're not going to want to work out. So again, that's why I start with sleep. So if at all possible, over the holidays, I want you to do this. I want you to make your schedule, and I want you to schedule enough time for sleep. And I want you to also kind of be aware. Sometimes we just go through and not any awareness, but be aware of certain behaviors that affect your sleep. Again, like drinking too much, and I mean drinking too much alcohol, maybe too much screen time close to bed, and maybe even eating too close to bedtime. I probably need to do a podcast on my nightly rituals because I believe that it starts at night. I believe that to start successful during the day, because everybody talks about it, you've probably read it, heard it. What's your morning routine? What's your morning routine? Well, what's your evening routine? Because your evening routine sets up your morning and your day. So I hope this gives you some motivation to stay the course this month. Stay the course with your self-care over the holidays. If there's any time to do it, and again, this might be a time, take the time and really start to understand you and your body and what affects you, and notice that. Again, I think that that's so important, is to understand, assess what you're doing and how it makes you feel. You're going to be so much more productive. You're going to perform at better levels. And so with that, I hope that this is something that you found beneficial. If you do me a favor, I would love for you to leave a review. And again, I know it's kind of a self-promotion or a selfless act, or I don't even know if it's really that's what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is that the reviews help grow the show. Unfortunately, from a technology standpoint, that's how they look at it. So if you can leave a review, if you found this helpful, share it with somebody. DM me, put it on social media. I am in the mission to help transform people's lives, and I need your help by helping me give reviews and actually sharing with others. So that's just kind of a selfless act that I'm asking for today. And again, if you need any more tips and motivation to reach your goals, I'm here to help. All right. I know that January's coming up. A lot of people are waiting until January. I'm here now. If you want to set up a call, just go to fitover40challenge.com/fitness coach. Set up a time. It's a free consultation. I'll just get on the phone with you. We'll see if we can't map out 2021 for you and your goals. But again, I really appreciate you listening. Thank you so much. I've got several episodes planned for the rest of this year. But again, thank you all, and I hope you guys just focus in on self-care and focus in on your mood, and let's finish 2020 strong. This is Coach Dave signing off.